bush kitchen. Here we are in my mom's bush of a kitchen. And today, we are making one of my favorite backpacking meals that I've ever had on the trail with my mom. Mom, I actually do think this is my favorite backpacking meal out of everything you made.
Yeah, I think you ate 3 of them.
I did.
In one sitting.
Tell us all what we have here. What does it take to make this sushi rice bowl?
Well, this is a really simple recipe because it's a cold soak. And so once you start packing up in the morning, you can just add your water to this recipe, and by the time you stop for lunch,
that's what we did.
Have it all done.
I remember that. We put the
Yeah.
water in before we left camp in the morning, and then when we got to camp, it was there and it was ready to go. That was great.
And
Okay.
So really good. All we have to do is cook some rice and then dehydrate it.
So the first step is to gather your ingredients. What are our ingredients here? We have...
So then the surimi, which is, it's like the imitation crab that you would get in a California roll. And this is 2 cucumbers that I cored the seeds out of and peeled and then dehydrated.
Okay.
It doesn't give you much, does it? For the surimi, because this is fish, I dried it at 145.
So 145 degrees, about 10 hours for the surimi. Did I say that right?
Surimi.
Surimi. And then for the cucumber?
The cucumbers, that's a more delicate flavor, and I think this took 10 to 12 hours.
But at least with the dehydration process, you just set it and forget it. And if you want to know about getting your whole dehydration kitchen set up, we have a video on that. You can see it right here in this card, and there's a link down in the description if you need to get your kitchen all set up and all squared away. Okay, so next we have the rice.
So the rice, you definitely want a short grain rice. I'm gonna put it in the Instapot for 4 minutes, cook it. Then I'll apply the seasoning and we'll dry it. I also like to add sesame seeds once it's dried. And then the nori just kind of goes on the side. I package this separately into a little...
The only problem with nori is that it's like 2 calories per seaweed slice, but it is nice. You get to eat the sushi bowl, and then this is like your chip that goes with it to complete it. Okay, so the next step, Mom, is to get the rice all squared away. So we're gonna jump on that and get the rice going.
Okay.
Okay, so we've just taken the rice out of the pressure cooker, and now we have to season it.
Yep.
Mom's banging around while I'm trying to talk.
Sorry,
digging in her bush. Okay, so first we're adding vinegar. How much vinegar are we adding here?
Well, I'm gonna start with a couple of tablespoons. And this is 2 cups of rice.
Okay, now what is this? This is Mirin?
Yeah.
And
Mirin.
And you were telling me earlier that you like this better than sugar because it's a glucose something or other?
Well, yeah, first of all, it's a really common Japanese rice seasoning. And it is sweet, but they use glucose as the sweetener in this. Glucose is what every cell in your body uses. So if you take in some other kind of sugar, like white table, it has to go through the liver and process. And so it goes through that whole process and it has byproducts, whereas glucose, once you eat it, I mean, it is readily available. It's like money versus a check.
I always feel the best after backpacking with my mom because I don't get to eat all the nasty stuff that I've been eating. And it's just all exercise, all good stuff for your body.
Yum.
So now we gotta dehydrate it?
So now we have to dehydrate it. So in your dehydrator, you need to have something solid so the rice doesn't fall through.
And these are silicone non-stick
These are
sheets.
silicone.
We have a link in the description below. You can find these if you want to dehydrate rice. Like, how thin are we spreading this?
Well, as thin as you can
Like
get
a
it.
sheet?
Yeah.
Look at how nice and pretty mine is. What's yours going? Look at.
I think
Who's got the better rice thing here going? Who's the artist? Look at this.
I say
Someone
you need
drew
more
without
rice
the-
on yours.
You drew outside the lines.
Gross. Here, Snoop Dogg, you do it.
All right, thank you. Okay, putting these in the dehydrator for 145, and we'll be back in 5 hours. Okay, so we've spent the 4 hours dehydrating this rice, and now the last thing to do is to assemble our sushi bowl.
You know, most backpacking meals, I feel like you don't really need a recipe. It's like following a recipe for a tossed salad. If you're a tomato lover, you put more tomatoes into it.
Yeah.
So measuring is not really that critical.
Okay.
Oh, probably.
And you gotta kind of break, this is like
cup and a half.
Peanut brittle. And it's not really important to break, it doesn't need like super broken up, right? It'll still dehydrate the same? Or rehydrate the same, I should say?
Big, like, that actually won't make it in the pack. So,
Okay.
You know, so
Right.
yeah, it'll break up. So let's put a quarter of a cup, how about, plus.
Of the surimi.
Of the surimi.
And a quarter of a cup of the...
These are cucumbers.
Cucumbers again, right.
I just add sesame because I like it.
Yeah.
You know, we could have put soy sauce in this.
When would we have added that? To the rice?
To the rice when we added the seasoning.
Okay.
Or you could get takeout.
Oh yeah, those little packets.
Little
right.
packs and just add it when you're reconstituting.
That is,
if if you just have you've done a lot of rice and you don't necessarily want soy sauce in all of it.
Yeah, I like that idea, the little packs.
Yeah. I do have a funnel for those. There you go.
That works. Okay, so is this is one sushi rice bowl, right?
Yep.
That we have created. This is John's sushi rice bowl. For the trail here, it's all broken up. And there it is, gourmet and delicious.
Now let's add some water. Rule for hydration basically is cover it with water. While things are soaking, it is nice to get in there and kind of break them up and smush it around. Just check on it. This is a cold soak reconstitution, so we don't have to heat the water.
Okay.
It does take a long time though. So we would do this as we're packing up camp.
Right.
And then pack it, give it 3 hours, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then it should be ready to eat.
So let's show people how we do that. So Mom's gonna add the cold water right now. This is a cold meal and I enjoyed it cold. Actually, I tried heating up one of my sushi rice bowls on the trail and it was not as good. So
That's
I don't
true.
actually.
That was nasty, wasn't
Right,
it?
it was nasty. So I actually do recommend just eat this cold. It's better that way. So we can see what Mom's done here. She's just added it up to the level of right there. And remember, if it's a little wet when it's time to eat, just pour it out. It'll work right away. And then we put them in these really slick, what are these, Mom? Hyperlight bags?
These are Hyperlight bags, yeah.
If you wanted to risk it and just double up your bags and
Yeah.
throw it in your bag, you
Yeah.
could, but we're using these fancy Hyperlight mountain gears.
Now, the thing that really makes this fun is to have some crackers
Oh
or
my
something
gosh,
to eat with it.
she is absolutely right. Once you eat it, these little seaweed things are so fun.
So when you do,
Yeah, here's the problem. There's nothing to them. So they really are just for flavor.
flavor. When you're packing up your dry ingredients, just throw in a small baggie. How's it?
That's trail sushi. If you want to set up your own bush kitchen, we have a video to that right here. There are more recipes over here and more recipes coming, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching this episode of Mom's Bush Kitchen. We'll be back next week. We'll see you next time.